We got more books back from CGC after 15 months. We're finally going to see what the grades are on these boys. I've forgotten exactly what I have. We're going to take a dive, look into these books, check out their fair market value up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video and another CGC unboxing. Before we get started, do all that stuff that you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share, notification bell, etc., etc. Follow us on the other socials, Instagram, Bronzeville_comics. And if there are any books in here that you might be interested in, reach out to me there. If I have them available, we may be able to make a deal. Follow me on Whatnot at Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. 20-second auction starting at $3 a book. I run a pretty efficient show, and last show I went through 140 books in 3 hours. I try to populate my store and show you condition, so you know what books are coming up and what their condition is even before the show starts. Also, in the if you have not yet used Whatnot, but you download it and you make your first purchase, using the link in the description, you're going to save $10 on that first purchase, whether it's with me or another vendor. Also, in the description is a link to the eBay store, and some of these books may eventually pop up there. So this is the second part of a two-part series. I did another unboxing earlier, and there were 60 books that I submitted to CGC 15 months ago. They came from a couple of different sources. They came from two collections, an estate sale, and some eBay purchases. And I submitted through my LCS. And I talked in the last video about the mistakes that I made. Mistake number one, going through CCS. It cost money, but it cost a tremendous amount of time. They were so backed up. The books have been sitting there since last June. June of 2021, got them back late September of 2022. The other mistake I made was overvaluing some books. There are some books, including some of the books in here, that were hot, got hot, and have cooled off substantially since then. And I kind of had my threshold a little bit lower then. I was looking for books that would be worth $100, maybe $150. In the grade I thought they were. Now I'm looking more, at least $150, probably closer to $200 in order to get them graded, unless I think they have potential in the future. And also my eye as a grader was not as well trained as it is now. I looked at a lot of videos. If you're interested in how to grade, I recommend ETA Nick's video series on grading comic books. He's very thorough. He did a tremendous amount of homework, and you'll learn a lot. I did. And also you learn from experience. I've now gotten a good number of books back from CGC, grades I thought they were, defects they had, and the grades that I got. And I've learned a lot from that. Didn't have that kind of knowledge here, so I did submit some lower grade books. And also, when I submitted these books, the market was going bananas. It's cooled off substantially since then, so as in the last video, hopefully I'll get some wins in here. I know I'm going to take some losses on some books that have cooled off or the grade isn't what it really needs to be in order for it to be worth getting slabbed. So let's dig into the books. I don't know the grades. I'm going to surprise myself. Let's have some fun along the way at the very least and see what we get. So we're going to talk about the books, and we'll talk about the grades. I'll put the fair market value on the screen for you. And then at the end, we'll sum it all up. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get going and let's take a look at our first book. Again, I'm going to cover up the grade. I don't know the grade. Okay. Incredible Hulk 418. I thought this was pretty high grade. I've got a number of these, but oh man. It does have a two-sided cover. And actually, I'm seeing the grade right now. I'm a 9.4 white pages. That is not a bad book in this grade. This is the first appearance of Talos, the Skrull that's played by Ben Mendelsohn in the MCU, and we're going to see him have a major part in the Secret Invasion storyline. So, again, 9.4 is probably as low as you want to go here. This is the gatefold. There are a couple different covers. This also is one of the worst first appearance covers. And Talos' first appearance isn't all that interesting. He's like a guest at the wedding of Rick Jones. So, I kind of forgot that was in there. I knew I had picked up a number of copies of that. So, that's our start. That's an okay start. Nothing wrong there. Moon Knight number 1. This book is very plentiful. I'm not sure. I think had some spine stress definitely on it. I'm not thinking this is in the 9s. It's probably lower than that. Maybe in the 8 range. And, of course, Moon Knight, the TV series, is come and gone. And 7.5. Yeah, not a surprise there. Definitely, this is a book that, in hindsight, and I kind of knew it shortly after the books were sent out, I probably should not have submitted that. Lesson learned. Know your grading and know the values. That book is, the FMV is probably not very strong on that. Up next. Oh, another one. Maybe this is... Oh, God, I think this is worse. I can see right on the camera there some spine ticks. This I think is worse. I think this is going to be a lower grade. Oh, 7.5. Same thing. Okay. This is a newsstand. Was the other one a direct? Yeah, one's a direct, one's a newsstand. Twinsies. Yeah. Let's check out the FMV of those. You'll see it on the screen. I'll look at it later. So, yeah, Moon Knight number 1s were not difficult to come by. Probably, the way the market has gone, a graded copy is probably worth less than what I paid for the raw one, at least in one of those circumstances. Okay, this was a book that was hot because it is, what is the first appearance of Shriek? Right? And we saw Shriek in the Let There Be Carnage movie. That came and went. I thought this was pretty high grade, though. 9.6. That's what I thought. Okay, that's not bad. 9.6 white pages for that book. Can't really complain too much. That's still going to have value. It's a little bit harder to get that in 9.8 because it is a thicker book. And, there's more stress on the spine in those thicker books. Okay, what's next? Okay, this isn't bad, but I'm not sure of the condition of this. This is Star Wars number 43, the first appearance in comics of Lando Calrissian. And it's from 1981, part of the Empire Strikes Back adaptation. And I'm trying to think, are we going backwards alphabetically? No, we're not. There's no order here. That's a 9.2, white pages. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Can't complain about that. Maybe they're going to do a Lando series on Disney Plus. That would be a nice little bonus for that book. Okay, so no big wins yet. Let's hope for at least one. Oh, I forgot I sent this in. Supervillain Classics number 1. Galactus was all the rage about a year ago. People speculating on him. We still haven't seen him, but he will, I'm sure, be in the MCU at some point. This is a retelling of his origin. In 1983, this was, I believe this is a one-shot. And it came back, oh, God, an 8.5. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that does not have a ton of value. Bob Layton cover. I'm pretty sure the interior is, it's all by Lee and Kirby. Nothing special about that book. That's probably not going to be worth a whole lot in an 8.5. What's next? Again, this box has been kind of meh so far. Okay, this is a good book. X-Men 135. This is, I think it's the first appearance of Robert Kelly. It is part of the Dark Phoenix storyline. And I got this off of eBay. Submitted it. 8.5. Again, okay. Meh. It's not one of the bigger keys, but I think this still does have a decent amount of value. I'd like to get something a little nicer. Let's see. Again, no big wins yet. Nothing terrible, nothing that's surprising me. Okay, Spawn number 1. You all know what this is. First appearance, first ongoing Spawn series, Todd McFarlane, Image Comics, yada, yada, yada. I thought this was pretty high grade, and it is a 9.8. Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. I thought this was really sharp. 9.8 white pages, Spawn number 1. That's what you want in a Spawn number 1. Okay, that's a win. let's put one in the win column. We haven't gotten beaten down by anything just yet. I kind of expected those Moon Knights. I should not have submitted those. The Supervillain Classics was, you know, again, a meh. So we got a 9.8. This is an interesting book, and it does indicate that it is a Mark Jeweler insert. This is tied for the first appearance of the black suit. It's a newsstand, which all Mark Jewelers are newsstands. Marvel Team Up number 141. It does say, what does it say there? Let me get the focus. Ties with Amazing Spider-Man 252 first appearance of black suit. I thought this was reasonably high grade. Maybe it had a shot. Let's take a look at the grade. 8.5. Ouch. I thought it was better than that. That is disappointing, to be honest with you. I thought this was in the 9s. Okay. But still, Mark Jewelers for this book. That does give it some additional value. It's going to be hard to get an FMV on a Mark Jewelers. Oh, yeah, I see like a little crunch. Yeah, a little wear down at the bottom corner. I see a spine tick. I'm not sure why it got as low as an 8.5, but white pages, still a pretty good book. Kind of hoping for higher than on that, but not a win, not a loss. That's a push. What's up next? Oh, another one. That's weird. Did I have 2 of these? I guess I did. I got to double check because this box, I didn't open the box. This was a box for my LCS, and both the boxes, the box I did just recently, and this box included books other people had. The Mark Jewelers is definitely mine. I have to look up this one. Marvel Team Up 141. And this was, it's a newsstand. First black suit, yada, yada, yada. 7.0. Ouch. Ouch. Oof. That is not a win. That is a loss. And the slab is scuffed. Yeah, for 7.0, who really cares? I don't know if it's cracked or not, but yeah. That shouldn't have been submitted, I'm gonna say. But live and learn. Right? This is 15 months ago me. And I've learned a lot since then in terms of grading the values and what should be submitted, what shouldn't. Hopefully. You know, what should be put in pre-screens, that sort of thing. What flaws to look for. Okay, let's take another. We can need a couple more wins here. Alf number 1. Yeah, I bought this off eBay. In this, what's up with that top staple? Ooh, is that? No, it's not. It's inset a little bit, I think. Yeah, it's just kind of the staple placement on the book is funny. I bought this on eBay just on a lark. Thought it was, somebody said it had never been touched. So I don't know what grade. I'm going to say in the 8s. Let me just get a focus here. 8.5. White pages. Nothing. Again, meh. Nothing great. Nothing terribly disappointing either. You know, nothing surprising. Wasn't like I was expecting a 9.8 and got an 8.5. Okay, that's just a lot of cardboard. Let me just adjust these books here so they're not all falling forward. Okay, up next. Oh, this is not a bad book. This was in a collection I got. There's a guy that I bought a few collections from. This is one of them. That's sitting oddly in the well, it looks like. But, yeah. Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, first appearance of Monica Rambeau, who becomes Captain Marvel. And obviously we've seen her in the WandaVision series, and we are going to see her again in the Marvels. So this book I thought was... This actually had a little bit of staining on the front cover, if I remember. I wonder if they were able to get it out. We'll see from the grade. Oh, no, they were not. Ouch. Yeah, I should not have submitted... I even see some creasing still on this front cover. Ouch. That is... Ugh. I see spine ticks. Should not have been submitted. You know, I got a little too... you know, aspirational. I don't know if that's the right word. Too, I don't know, optimistic with the grades on the books that I had in hand, and not really, wasn't really being objective enough. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 books. I'm not sure how many more I have. Let's see. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 25 books in here. So we're reaching the halfway point. This is the hump here. Simpsons Comics and Stories, #1. I bought this at an estate sale. Actually, nobody bought this at the estate sale. I went to the estate sale, bought a bunch of books. There's probably some more books in here from that estate sale. And then I went back and contacted the sellers later in the week and just picked up what they had left. And there was a copy of this. So I thought this was fairly sharp. There's a huge difference in grade on this one between 9.6 and 9.8. And this came out as a 9.2. Okay. Yeah. Meh. Meh. That's, again, meh. Like a 9.8, the jump from a 9.6 to a 9.8 is really big in that book. Okay. So, these on the floor. Excuse me. There we go. Let us continue. We should have 12 more books. Come on. We need more than one win. Star Wars 42. I remember this book, and of course the value of this book has plummeted since the release of the Book of Boba Fett TV series. This was pretty sharp. I had bought this from an eBay vendor that I got a lot of books from back in the day. If you look at my previous video, there were books there that I had bought from him. And yeah, this is the first appearance of Boba Fett. And it came back as an 8.5. Ouch. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. But I thought the book was fairly clean. I'd like to look at the grader's notes on this one. There was a crease in one of the corners, but it's hard to see from here. I thought it was a fairly small crease, and I thought it had a chance to get in the 9s. So, meh. Nothing, the Spawn is the most exciting thing in this submission. So, what is next? Next book. Oh, this is an interesting book. Marvel Knights Wave 2 Sketchbook. This is the first published appearance. I'm trying to see what they have in the grader's notes. Okay, let's see what they have in the grader's notes. Supplement included exclusively in Wizard Comics Magazine 90. Introduction by Quesada and Palmiotti. It doesn't say that. I'm pretty sure this is the first published appearance of Yelena Belova as a preview of her appearance later on. So this came back as an 8.5. I'm not sure. It's going to be difficult to get, I think, pricing data on that one. Again, I was like, ooh, let's submit this book. Should I have? I mean, if that came back as a 9.6, 9.8, maybe. Maybe it's worth it. Captain America, number 354. I got this at that same estate sale. And this is John Walker becomes U.S. agent. We're going to see him appear again in the Thunderbolts. 9.2, white pages, respectable. You know, I can't complain about that. Not bad. Nothing exciting. You know, you'll be seeing the FMVs before I will, so I don't know what these are worth. First full Bishop, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 283. This really only has value in the highest of grades. Of course, we haven't seen Bishop. If he ever comes to the MCU, these books could do better. The grade 9.6, white pages, that's okay. You'd prefer a 9.8, but a 9.6 is okay for that book. Probably hold on to that for a bit. See if we do get Bishop in the MCU. A lot of people love Bishop. And to go along with that, Uncanny X-Men 282. First cameo appearance of Bishop. Of course, his first cover appearance. 9.4 white pages. You know, we'd love to get that in a 9.8 because it is a pretty recent book from 1991. Just a handful left. I think I should know what's coming up. Oh, wow. I kind of forgotten about this book. Amazing Spider-Man 252. Obviously, first appearance of Black Suit. I didn't know I had this in there. Yeah, that's a big book in reasonably high grade. I don't remember having this in the submission, but yeah, I guess I did. I got to have to check to see if I bought that off eBay or whatever. And that came back as a 8.0. Meh. Yeah, that's... That's okay. I see a stain on the back. Right above the C in can. There's some waviness, but I think that's just the way it's in the holder. A couple little spine ticks. I'd be interested to see the grader's notes on this one. And you'd like that to get into the 9. But an 8.0 still does have reasonably good value. This is not, so far, all that exciting a CGC unboxing. Oh, Madam Webb. God, I have so many Madam Webbs. Amazing Spider-Man 210. First appearance of Madam Webb. Think we're getting her in the movie. Dakota Johnson. Who knows with Sony. And this came back. Oh, goodness. A 6.5. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. What that is. Ouch. Ouch. What did I... Man. Why did I submit this book? That is not... Ugh. I'm going to say it again. Lesson learned. I got a little over excited. Oh, that's a... And I didn't really know the grading well enough to make a determination there. Another one. Maybe this will be better. Amazing Spider-Man 210. First appearance of Madam Webb. 7.5. It's better. Still, meh. Nothing to write home about. There's 4 more books, and I know of 5 books that I've submitted back when I had them cleaned and pressed that I haven't gotten back yet. Oh yes, I remember this. This was from one of the collections I got. Daredevil, 168, the first appearance of Elektra. What's interesting about this book is if I look at it close, that printer's crease that is usually evident on the book is not. I don't know. There's a corner crease down at the bottom, so it's not going to be the highest of grades. But still, this is a good book in decent shape. And it, oh God, 6.0. Yep. Yeah, there's staining on the back. I don't know how well that can be shown there on the back bottom. There's a crease there. That's a fair grade. Staples inset. There's something else going on there on the back cover. Right there. So that probably still has reasonably good value. We'll see. I don't know. There are several other books that I submitted. Oh, wow. So some of the books. Okay. Doorway to Nightmare #1. First appearance of Madame Xanadu. I picked this up, I know, on eBay. I can see already some spine stress up there at the top. What, like an 8? 8.5. 8.5 white pages. Okay, if we do see her like in a Justice League Dark property, and the fact that, of all things, that, Warner Brothers Discovery isn't really doing anything with anything. They're just canceling stuff, and they announced that they're going to reboot Constantine. They're going to continue that with Keanu. Maybe some of these Justice League Dark type characters we will see. So, as with DC Keys, I think that has room to grow. So, there are books, I don't know where they are. I thought all the rest of the books I had coming back were in another Doorway to Nightmare. And I see an even bigger spine stress line there. I guess I picked up a few. I picked up a couple of these on eBay at the time. 8.0. Okay. It's interesting because I don't know where they are. We're down to our last book, and I know I had ASM 361, a first and second print, and a Hulk 340, and a couple G.I. Joe ones. I have to find out where those are. And then this is, what is the significance of this? Why did Dr. Doom appear in Fantastic Four 352? And I also know, man, maybe I submitted more books than I thought. Because I also have, I think, a White Vision in there. There's some other books that I know I submitted. And this came back, I don't know what the... 9.4 white pages. It's a nice Simonson cover. I'm not sure why I submitted this one. So that's the submission. Not a whole lot to write home about in that one. Make sure I got all my books out. Yep, I took 24 books out of that submission. Again, the previous box, which had some more 70s books, even for a modern submission, I thought that was pretty good. But I have books. I know there's... I thought I had 60 books out at CGC. I might have more. Because I know I have some books that are definitely in the economy tier. Because they were pre-1975 that I submitted for CCS to press, etc. Green Lantern 87, All-Star Western 10, Wonder Woman 206... Marvel Superheroes 18, Amazing Adventures 11, Batman 251. Is that all I submitted? Maybe it's just that handful, and then I think my buddy said there's 25 more books. So soon, I guess, I should be getting those ASM 361s, the Hulk 340. I know I had Marvel Comics Presents 72. I really have to find the notes where I have listed what these books were. So anyway, let me know what you think of that submission. Again, I'm going to reiterate the cautionary tale part of this. Threefold. And this was a disappointing box. And not because of the way CGC graded them by any means. Number one, I waited 15 months to get these books back because I had them pressed by CCS. I'm now doing my own pressing, and what happens is when I do my own pressing, if I pick out a book that I put in a box 5 months ago that no longer has the value that it did then it doesn't get submitted. I've also kind of increased the anticipated value I want from the books from, back then when I had fewer big books, I was saying, okay, if it's going to be worth over $100 in the condition I think it's going to be graded in, that would be worth it. The problem is with the CCS, not only the time, but I paid the money to have it pressed by CCS. I think that's going to come back to bite me on a number of these books. So CCS, time and money. I can't complain with the job that they did pressing the books because the flaws were there. I mean, it wasn't like they missed stuff, and they did a good job pressing, especially in the previous batch I had. I got some 9.8s. I got some high grades on some Bronze Age books. I was very happy on the whole with the grades. So I don't have a problem with the job CCS did in pressing. My issue is with the length of time it took to get everything done. Then the rest of it's on me. I got a little too aspirational on the prices of the books. I bought these, or got these in collections back in the spring of 2021, like between, let's say, April and June. And these books were going bananas. I submitted some books that I shouldn't have, Moon Knight 1, and they don't have the value that they did then. And then the third part of it, and this is probably the most important part in submitting books to CGC, know how to grade. I did not have a trained enough eye based on experience and based on watching other people grade stuff on YouTube and talking to people about grading. You know, when you're talking to somebody at a show or whatever that is a capable grader, or even at your LCS, just say, what do you think of this book? And see if you're on the same page. I submitted books that in the grade they were in should not have been submitted. Now, the interesting thing about this is all purchases from last spring. I'm now starting to get back purchases from last fall in terms of collections. Now, some of these came from collections, so there's no real loss, but some of these hurt in terms of the fair market value. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through the FMVs. I'm going to cry a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and wrap this all up. So if we crunch all the numbers, the total fair market value for these books is about $2,400, about $100 a book, but only 8 of the 25 books have a fair market value in excess of $100. A number of them are close, and we could see them increasing. They maybe have some room to grow, like the 2 Bishop books and the Doorway to Nightmare books. Actually, one of those is worth over $100. The biggest book, 2 biggest books in the batch were the Star Wars 42 in an 8.5 is 261, and the Amazing Spider-Man 252 in an 8.0 is 239. Those are the only books in excess of $200. Probably, well, and a couple of books I couldn't even get prices for. The Marvel Knights Wave 2 Sketchbook in an 8.5. There's no slab sales according to cover price. And Alf #1 in an 8.5, there's like 9.6 sale. So I didn't even include values for either of those. Probably the most disappointing book, and this goes to totally my fault, never should have submitted it this grade, is the Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, the first appearance of Monica Rambeau. There is staining on the cover, and I remember when I was prepping the books to send out, I felt something on the cover, like some grime. Thought maybe they could get it off. Obviously, they couldn't. There are 2,550 universal copies, universal blue labels on the CGC census for Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. My book is a 6.0. There are only 49 on the census, lower than a 6.0. So, again, the Marvel Team Up 141 and 8.5 Mark Jewelers, I had that at 156. That doesn't include whatever the Mark Jewelers premium is. Happy with the Spawn 1, but even a 9.8 of Spawn 1 is like a $158 book. The Amazing Spider-Man 210s, even at 6575, those are well in excess of $100. Same is true of the Elektra Daredevil 168 and a 6.0. Moral of the story is, know how to grade and know what not to submit. Simple as that. I submitted too many books that I should not have, especially to get cleaned and pressed, because that added cost for a book that's worth less than $100, I took a hit on some of these books. The previous CGC box, I did very well on, I thought. And it's been a benefit to me to clean and press my own books. No cost there, only grading costs. So let me know what you think. I'm not excited about the results of this box. And let me know if any of these books interest you. Some of them I'm willing to part with at low prices. So if there's anything you're interested in for your PC, hit me up. And in the meantime, take a look at a couple other videos here. Those are going to outline some of the places I got these books. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.